Hi.
There it is.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not very technologically gifted.
That's okay.
Neither am I. But once you get the hang of this thing, it becomes kind of easy.
Well, I'm excited to see you too. I've seen you hundreds of times. You just haven't seen me. Or, come here, Millie, my helper.
I saw her walking back there.
Something walking back there.
Millie, come here.
Oh, baby.
Say hi.
Hi, Millie. Millie. Millie.
Oh, you're a licker. Okay.
She's
My constant companion.
Black Lab.
She is my constant companion. She's all I've got out here. Well, I'll tell you, my name's Bob Cowan, for the minions that don't know. I'm an old guy. I live in Holden, Missouri, which is about 30 miles from southeast of Kansas City. As you can see, I'm a Chiefs fan and a Royals fan. It's a good time to be a Chiefs fan, but I've been a Chiefs fan all my life, and I've suffered through the 50 years of terrible football.
Well, you know, I wouldn't say that completely, because if
you got Joe Montana for a while.
If you've been a Chiefs fan that long, then you remember Hank Stram and Len Dawson,
Oh, yeah.
Otis Taylor, and those guys. I was kind of somewhat of a Chiefs fan back then, but they had some great teams back then. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when they came here from the Texans, they had some really good teams.
Yeah.
And Hank Stram was a really good coach.
He was. There was nobody quite like Hank Stram. I still love to watch videos of that guy. He was amazing.
Always in a suit and tie.
Yep.
Matriculating the ball down the field. Millie.
And he had some colorful language that people seem to connect to. Oh, she's a doll.
Well, she's 3. She just turned 3. And I had a theory about old people getting puppies. I wasn't real. Okay. As you can tell, she's a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
But she's a good spoiled brat. Now you understand how come I've always been so interested in Magnum, because he's such a cool dog.
Oh my gosh.
Silly Millie. I named her right. Hey, you just want to be on TV.
Yes, she does.
But I got to tell you, I've probably only been with you, I don't know, I'm probably starting my 3rd year.
Yeah.
And I'm like everybody else, I came across you totally by accident. It started about 3 years ago. My lady friend, her grandson's in the Boy Scouts. And she called me and she said, he's going to camp. He had a job. He was going to be at camp all summer, 3 months, and he needed a camp box. Well, they could buy one. I don't know, they were anywhere from $75 to $100, and they were just made out of 1/2-inch plywood. So I made him one out of cedar. I made him a nice camp box, and she wanted his name on it. So I thought, how am I going to put his name on it? So, of course, I've been a construction carpenter for 40 years.
Oh, really?
I get woodcraft and Rockler, so I bought from Rockler, I bought their state park stencil thing to carve signs.
Yeah.
You use a plunge router. Well, I did it, and it came out fine, but it wasn't very rewarding using that plunge router. It was all in the setup.
That was like a Miles Craft, one of the Miles Craft
Yes.
systems? Yeah.
Which I still have and haven't used in 3 years. So I thought there's got to be a better way. And I started looking on YouTube. And the first video I came across was your dad, was Dave.
Yeah.
And I started watching, then I started watching you. And to myself and the minions, you're the Stevie Ray Vaughan of sign carvers.
You know who that is, babe?
I know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is. That's a compliment. Well, thank you. Yeah.
You are that. And I thought, my God, that's better than using this plunge router. And because with the Miles Craft, it's all in the setup. It takes absolutely no talent to do it. So off I went. I started off, and this is back when you used to still sell the MDF templates.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bought a whole bunch, but I bought the dog bone.
Yep.
I bought a DWP 611. I bought all my bits from you, and off I went, and I started making them for Joy. That's my lady friend. And I made a feeding station for Millie, and I've got a water bowl and a food bowl. Oh no, it's probably 16 inches tall. And I use those dog bones, and I put Silly on one and Millie on another, hang them. And to this day, I hate looking at anything I made when I started, because it looks like a fourth grader did it.
Yeah.
But I've kept at it and watched hundreds and hundreds of your videos.
Oh my God.
Still watch them, because there's always something to learn. And I'm living proof that you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Wow. That's terrific, man. Yeah, I see some stuff there behind you. Some of your flag stuff.
Yeah. Well, some of the big flag I made a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But after watching you, and I don't know who all did it, they started painting their stars white. Well, I probably made a dozen of those, and I never painted the stars white.
Yeah.
So I just brought that one home last week from where it was and painted the stars white. I still got to take it back. But I can't tell you how many of those I've done. All total, I've probably done maybe 50 signs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never set out with the intention of selling any. I couldn't take part in the Minions Christmas because I have signs I have to make. I started out making signs for commissioners at the Boy Scouts. They all hang it's probably a 4.5 by 12 or 13 inch sign on what they call the commissioner's barge. Everybody's got a sign.
Yeah.
It's got their Boy Scout claws. I've sent you pictures of them.
Yeah.
Have their tribal name and their real name on them. And once I did one for my girlfriend. Of course, she took it to camp. Now I get calls every other day and want me to make one of those.
Yeah.
I only started charging them $20 to make one. Well, shoot, if I got $20 worth of halcyon on them. But I'm going to have to raise the price a little bit. And I've never marketed, never tried to sell anything. I contracted, a month or two ago. I'm making a big sign for a duck hunting club. It's the biggest sign I've ever made. It's 5 foot by 2 foot.
Wow.
And I'm still working on it. Big signs pose a whole lot different challenge.
Yes, they do.
Trying to get at where you can carve it. Some of it I've had to stand up and do because I just can't reach it.
Yeah. So Bob, are you retired from the construction industry?
Yes, I got laid off. I worked at Honeywell, Allied Signal / Bendix for 33 years.
Okay.
I got laid off in August of 2014. I was 1 year short of retirement, and I really didn't feel like looking for a job. And who's going to hire a 64-year-old guy?
Yeah.
So I just went ahead and retired and took a 10% hit off my Social Security and my retirement. But through this, and between fishing and everything, I've stayed pretty busy.
It sounds like it. Yeah. So is there good fishing around there? Good fishing around where you're at?
Yes, and where I live around an 8-acre lake, and sorry, it's probably somebody wanting to pay off my student loans, or
Yeah.
I still get those.
Yeah.
Thought I hung up on them. Somebody, there we go. Somebody trying to sell me something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I live around an 8-acre lake. It's got all kinds of bass and crappie and bluegill in it. And I keep one of those plastic 2-man little bass boats.
Yeah.
It's plastic, and I keep it down there, and I just go down there and hop in and go fishing. Have to leave Millie in the house though, because she'd follow me around the lake.
Yeah. Well, she looks like she should like water.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
But she's a pain.
So so even though you're not going after any business or marketing, people just are asking you to do stuff just from word of mouth then.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm busy enough that I really don't need to advertise.
Right.
Like I said, people see things. I gave Millie's got more friends than I do. She has 3 or 4 dogs that come visit her on a daily basis. The UPS man brings her treats. The FedEx people give her treats. My mail lady brings her treats. So my mail lady before Christmas left a big box of milk bones in my mailbox for her and the neighborhood dogs. So I gave her the Freedom Eagle. I've got half a dozen of those made, and she was tickled with it.
That's terrific. Yeah. Yeah.
I put my name and phone number on the back of every one. She's wanting to play tug of war. Full of energy.
Well, she's keeping you young.
Oh boy. And we've got her, I call them her best friends. We've got, where I live, everybody's got 4 or 5 acres. And there's a guy, one house up from me, that's a B-2 bomber pilot.
Wow.
Out of Knob Noster. It's a big Air Force base in Knob Noster, Missouri. And he's got, if you can imagine this, he's got a half St. Bernard, half Labrador Retriever.
Wow. Wow.
His name's Dexter, and he is a sweetheart. And they've got a half sheepdog, half poodle. And she's wild. But they play constantly. Like I say, she's got more friends than I do.
Yeah.
But she's probably nicer than I am. But I am not married. I've been married 3 times, so I quit.
Gave it up.
Yeah, the Lord did not bless me with in relationships. I've either picked the wrong people, or I don't know. I served in the Navy from 70 to 74. I was in Vietnam in 72, and it seems like all the Vietnam veterans I've ever talked to have relationship troubles. But in his big picture, the good Lord has blessed me with some of the finest 4-legged critters a person could ever hope to have.
Well,
I've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
Including this one.
Well, that's terrific. So you spend most of your time then either fishing or working with, you do other woodworking stuff too, based on, sounds like your background. Are you making tables or other woodworking stuff?
No, I was a construction carpenter. You may ask your dad. When I started, when I went through my apprenticeship, I went through the apprenticeship of a lather, Lather. Nobody seeing us will even have a clue what a lather was.
Yeah.
Your dad would. But somewhere in the late 70s, carpenters kept stealing all our work. And they finally told us, because the carpenters were much bigger than the lathers. They told us that we could either join them or they just steal all our work. So of course we joined them.
So you were putting up lath for lath and plaster then, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I kind of know what that is. I've had older houses that had lath and plaster up there.
That's what I originally did. But in between work and working out in the wintertime, I was offered the opportunity to go to Bendix at the time. And that's 365 days a year, mostly inside, so I took it.
Yep. Gotcha.
So that's
Bendix, like in automotive, making automotive things like starters and that kind of thing?
No, where I worked was a DOE facility.
Okay.
What they want everybody that works for them to say is they made non-nuclear components for nuclear weapons.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's their standard, what you're supposed to tell people.
Gotcha.
But you walk down the hallway and see tomahawk nose cones. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what they were making. But
yeah.
They'll probably come knocking on my door now.
Yeah. Big brother, still listening.
Yes.
Yeah. And how long you been retired? You've been retired from there since 04?
No, 2014.
14. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, what they did was they decided they were going to build a new building because the building we were in was the old Pratt & Whitney engine building from World War II.
Wow.
And when they built the new building, they decided, this is the federal government, they didn't want to own the building. They wanted somebody else to own it and they would lease it. So this company named Centerpoint actually owns the building, and Department of Energy leases it from them. Because of that, I worked in maintenance. Since they didn't have control of the property anymore, they didn't need maintenance. So they laid off almost all the millwrights, which is what I was, electricians and pipe fitters. They just laid us off.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
Billy.
You're a piece of work. God, you're silly.
So is she the only dog that you have, that you own?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. God, I couldn't handle another one, especially like her. But she's good company.
Yeah.
Keeps me honest.
Keeps you busy too.
Oh boy. Especially if I'm sitting here. She'd be laying on the bed for hours. I come in here and get on the computer and it's like, okay.
Playtime.
Yes.
So this big sign that you're doing, how did that come about? How did that big sign you're doing come about? Word of mouth stuff?
My lady friend's son owns a fueling business. It's Uric Fuel LLC, and when he started, I made him a couple of signs. They were, well, I think I just used cedar fencing. I put his name on it, and for Christmas, I've given him American flag, and he's got them in his business. Well, these guys saw that, and they said, hey, can he make us one? So Andy called me, and I said, well, I'll give it a shot. They've got a logo, and originally I was going to put their logo on his sign, but it was really complicated logo. I did print it out from Rapid Resizer. I had like 11 sheets of paper,
Wow.
Scotch taped together to do it. And it just didn't, it was too much. So I scrapped that entire idea. What it was the biggest part of it was the end of a 12 gauge shotgun shell, and it had cattails and ducks all over it.
Oh.
I couldn't figure out how to blend it all together. So instead I used 4-inch letters and put their letters out. It's Island Farms. Then I used 2-inch letters underneath it. It says duck hunting at its finest.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put some artwork on the bottom of it. The neat thing about it is what they want this for, and I've never heard or seen anything like it. They want to have it, I don't know if they got a clubhouse or what, but they want to hang this thing outside, and they want to hang ducks on it to take pictures. So I drilled holes. At least I was smart enough before I got the sign put together and glued up that I go ahead and drill the holes. I'm going to use 3/4-inch oak dowel rods.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put an empty 12 gauge shotgun shell on the end of each one.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to use to hang their ducks up.
Yeah. And
So
that dowel fits, so that shotgun shell fits right over the end of the dowel.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3/4-inch oak. The sign's out of pine. I glued up.
Yeah.
Watching you doing your method. And I've done that several times on some big American flags.
Yeah.
Works out real well. And that I use Tight Bond 3, and I don't think those things will ever come apart.
Yeah. Now the wood will break before those joints come apart, no doubt. Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in Tight Bond.
Yeah. It's great.
Between you and Vicky and Frank Jenkins and a lot of people I've watched, I've learned a lot. I'm still learning a lot. Like this big sign, it's way out of my comfort zone. I love carving, the cedar fencing and 12 by 12 select pine. I mean, you can sit there but that big one's,
yeah.
And I'm doing them outset, and I've got 2 confessions to make to you. One, like most of us, I'm an oversprayer. I'm working on it. And 2, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I'm old, so I will admit it. I have never mastered the use of the 60-degree bit.
Really?
I use it for cleanup.
Okay.
But I've watched you and Frank. You guys make that 60 look so easy. So I watched you on a video. I said, I'm going to do it. I was doing a Boy Scout sign.
Yeah.
And I used 3/4-inch letters. I said, well, Eric uses a 60 on 3/4. I'll do it. So instead of doing like you always tell us to do and go by the depth, I set the depth at the 1/8 inch with my router depth gauge, and I started to carve them. Well, at 1/8 of an inch on a 3/4-inch letter, there's no room.
Too wide.
To screw up.
That's too wide. There's no
I should have started.
Yeah.
I should have started with the 16th, but as I normally do, once I started that and I didn't like it, I went back to the profile bit.
Yeah.
I'm a profile bit addict.
Well, there's
use it.
Worse things.
Yeah, I use it, and I just as soon use the profile bit and go down both sides.
Yeah.
And then clean up the middle.
Yeah.
It leaves me room for air.
Yeah. And
but like I said, watching you and watching Frank.
Yeah.
You guys just, you maneuver that 60-degree bit, and I need to do it more. Or practice, get some practice pieces.
But, the reason I originally started using the 60 is because it was faster. On the inset letters, it was faster because it was only one stroke you know, all the way when I was using Clarendon letters, and that's Clarendon and Western is all I ever did. So I had to use and develop a way to do them faster so I could kick them out because I had people, you know, I was carving on site. So I had to find a quick way. Anytime I can shave 10 seconds off the making of a sign, that's just quicker that I can get to the next one. So I had to do that. So, but my dad has always carved inset letters with a profile bit. He likes the way it looks better, and that's his preferred method. I'm the one that actually just started doing the 60 because I just needed a quicker way to do it.
Well, evidently Frank's mastered it.
Well,
I have not.
Yeah.
Like I said, I use the profile bit as a crutch. I definitely go for that. And I'm doing all outset letters on this big duck sign, so that's a no-brainer. I went around everything with at 1/8 of an inch, and then I went back. Well, I'm not done, but the big letters I have, the 2-inch I haven't.
Yeah.
Went around at a 1/4 inch deep with the profile bit.
Yeah. You might be surprised by the time you get done with it and you see how good it comes out. You might get a hankering to do more big stuff because you can kind of get in that mode, and you know, and then you know, your mind may go, the small stuff, that's, you know, that's an everyday deal. You can do that at any time. But the big ones that challenge you like that, you can get hooked on that too.
Well, it's big.
Yeah.
And I need to talk to them when I get a little further along. I have no idea how they're going to hang it.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to screw it to a wall or hang it from a chain so they can. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, what material did you use on that? What kind of material?
I glued pine strips together. They're 3/4, plus I put a bunch of 1x4s on the back.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, good.
I did I did 5 1x4s vertically on the back, and then several across the top. That way it'd have something to hang off of.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I'm still weeks away because I still got some carving to do, plus the artwork. I just on Facebook, Sean Lundquist, who I don't know if he's fairly new with you guys or what, but he started posting on the Minions page, and he posted one yesterday. It had a bunch of ducks on it. And I asked him where he got his duck art, and he just said he Googled duck silhouettes, and I printed them out and made some stencils. Well, if you can see it, of the flying ducks. I'm going to put on that. I'm going to put on that sign.
Oh, I can kind of see it. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, Sean Lundquist, I don't know that I've talked to him yet, but I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. I'll need to go check it out.
I think he must live somewhere around me, because when he posted signs, he had chief signs, and he did a college that's in Kansas City, Avila College. He did a sign for them. Yeah. Now, like I said, I don't know how new he is, but looking at his work, he's pretty advanced. He does some really nice work.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to look him up. I know Matt Bay is kind of somewhere around St. Louis. I can't remember exactly where, but it seemed like he was close to St. Louis up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone to his site and watched his videos too. Yeah, he's somewhere around St. Louis because he's a big blues. Yeah. St. Louis blues fan, and
yeah,
I'm on the complete other side of the state from him.
Gotcha.
We're as far apart as almost you can be and still be in Missouri.
And still be in that. Yeah, gotcha. Good. All right, my friend. Well, any advice you might have for some new people in case they're chiming in on this?
Yeah, listen to Eric and Vicky. Because I can't tell you how many times you've said something and I've done something a little different way, and I did it, and then when I tried your way, it worked better. And I have to disagree with your son, Ryan.
I do that all the time.
He loves his rigid router. I have 3 routers, and I bought the rigid because I wanted to save $40 over the DWP 611.
Yeah.
And I keep profile bid in that one. But every time I go to adjust the depth, I wish I'd have spent that $40 more and bought the DWP 611.
Yeah.
I hate that thing. Absolutely hate how you adjust it. And watching you, I've decided I don't want a Makita for the same reason. I don't want the Bosch Colt for the same reason.
Yeah.
I've used big routers in the past. I've got a couple of PorterKix 90s.
Yeah.
And with that ring, it's so easy to adjust.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can't recommend that one enough. And plus, DeWalt's really good about standing by their stuff. I had one just quit on me. I emailed you about, it's probably been a year ago.
Yeah.
And there's a DeWalt factory place. I don't know, it's in Kansas City. It's a good 40, 45 miles from my house, but I drove up there and I took them my router. And if you look on a DWP 611, it's got the manufacturer date on it. And mine was out of warranty. And I handed it to the guy and I said, oh, what's the matter with it? It just quit. I used it one night, came back the next day, turned it on, nothing, deader than a doornail. And he took it, put it on the shelf, said, here, fill out this paperwork with your name and address. I did. He said, I'll have him ship you a brand new one to your door.
Wow.
So I didn't even have to drive back. They sent me a brand new DWP 611 on my front door, and I was tickled. So
yeah,
you can understand why I'm.
Yeah. Well,
they stood by, even out of warning.
Someone just told me the other day they saw on the internet that DeWalt is discontinuing the 611.
What?
Yeah, that's they said they did a Google search. They could, everybody's having a tough time finding them, and they went and I guess did a search and found some place that said that, and I don't know, this is just again rumor, that they are discontinuing the DWP 611, which
that'll break my heart.
That just seems like that just doesn't seem to make sense to me, unless they're trying to push everybody toward the electric, the battery version. Because and to be honest, I use the battery version and it works really good. I don't have anything bad to say about it, other than I just have the 2 amp hour battery. But if I had a 4 or a 5 amp hour battery, I think I would use it more. It really is a good little router.
Well, I don't know if it's the pandemic or what, but you can't find a DWP 611. You cannot find a Porter Cable 450.
Yeah, and somebody's saying, somebody said they checked into it and they're convinced that, and I don't know whether it was DeWalt or whatever. I suppose I should Google it and find out. They said the 611 is discontinued.
Wow.
But if you look at people that have CNCs,
yep,
9 out of 10 of them, that's what they've got in their CNC.
That's exactly right. That's why I'm so shocked. It's not just us that use it by hand. It's like 9 out of 10. You're right. 9 out of 10 of the small CNCs, they got a 611 on them. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I find it unfathomable that they're discontinuing it, because it's just it's the best trim router ever made, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I haven't used them all, but
you've come closer. You've come closer than anybody else to using them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And he was looking at them again the other day.
Yeah, I was looking at some other ones. I hear good things about the Milwaukee. I've been thinking about getting a Milwaukee just so I could see it. But
as long as it's got a ring for an adjustment, I'd be for it.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing, is that ring, there's just no other adjustment that I found. And not just that, that base plate and housing comes off, in an instant. and the others you got to crank on. Anyway, just yeah, that's the best system there is, huh? Okay.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. Well, the Queen says we're out of time.
I got resin to pour.
I got a video I got to get done this afternoon too. So, Bob.
Well, I appreciate.
I know we've talked.
I appreciate.
I know we've emailed back and forth. I don't know, and you're always making comments on the YouTube channel. So I know we've interacted probably hundreds of times, but we never had a chance really to see each other face to face. So this is cool, man.
Well, I appreciate your time. We love you guys. Love what you do. Your hearts are in the right place. And I'm stealing Vicky's dog refuge sign because I do work for Furry Kids Refuge here in town, and I'm going to make them one to raffle off.
That's a great idea.
When I get around to it.
Yeah.
I have time.
We've raised almost
I think we're pushing $1,400.
$1,400, but that's before I match.
Yeah, then we got to match half of
and
that.
then we'll match
so
half of that.
It'll be way up over 2,000 by the time we're done, and that's just where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to work out really good. The little place at Mutt Matchers, they're pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So we'll do a video over there, I think.
Mm-hmm. We'll take it, present it with check or whatever.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Yeah.
I know you used a 1x12. But do you remember how wide you made it?
On the puppy love, the giveaway, you know, that was a piece of maple that I found that I had with all of that cabinetry stuff. Remember that big load of cabinet stuff?
Yes.
That was just a piece of maple. I think it's about 12 by 12. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you, Bob. We love you too, man. Thanks so much. And
okay,
I think this will post on Friday.
Well, I probably don't want to see me. I don't like looking at my old signs. I sure don't want to see my ugly mug on YouTube.
Oh, come on.
Oh, people are going to love it. Yeah. People are going to love it. Thanks again, Bob.
You take care of yourself. Stay healthy.
You too. We'll see you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.